In the background, we have a 40-5 game on Rundown. Not a good start, but we do drop nuke number 4 at the end. It's one of my better games to date, and yes, you will see that I am running Blast Shield. I've just had it with the noob tubes and RPGs, man. It's every game, and you can't get away from it. But we've been doing this since 2009, so that's only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this game's problems in 2025, bro. Probably gonna make a whole separate video on this sad state of affairs. At least that's what it is on Steam. I know there's a lot less vulnerabilities on Xbox. To get back to the video, I wanted to hop on and talk about something that I've been a little bit more conscious of over the last year, and that's taking shit for granted. And no, I'm not talking about 24-hour Steak and Shake or 2017 Movie Pass. I heard it all the time growing up, how I shouldn't take things for granted, life, family, and I always agreed, but I don't think I ever knew what that meant or how I'm supposed to know if I was or not. Well, I think the best way to know is when that something gets taken away. For me in my life, that's been a few different things at a few different moments, various parts of my health, people in my life, youth. Those are some of the biggest things. Now that I'm 25 and my frontal lobe has finished developing or whatever, I guess I'm done growing up. I feel youthful in some ways, but not others. There's a certain magic to being young, mentally, I think. Being without consequence and always being in the moment. The world, it seems to have a bit more color to it. And year after year, one responsibility after another just keeps getting loaded onto your shoulders, man. And it can get heavy, but I'm finding that rep after rep, it does get easier. And when you're young, that's all you know. All you want is to be older so that you can drive or move out, get a job, or whatever it may be. But once you finally get what you want, you realize how much time has passed while you were sitting around waiting. It's easy to forget how fast life moves, and everything won't always be the way that it is. Part of my youth that I took for granted was when I was living in the pre-social media world. No Snap, no TikTok, no bullshit. We had YouTube and MySpace and eventually Facebook, but if we wanted to use that, it was done on the home computer, and not a smartphone. It was a totally different ballgame back then. The internet was a lot less mobile, addictive, and engineered than it is today. And that's the best part about it. Nobody was carrying it around 24/7 or was expected to text back within the minute or the hour. That used to be unheard of. And if I called your house and you didn't answer, that's just what it was. You'll get back to me when you do, and if not, I'll see you when I see you. I think Louis C.K. talked about how it's not the phone anymore. The phone. Everybody has their own. There were no distractions or vibrations, to get taken out of the moment. Switching gears for a second, man, there's always been moments throughout my life where I've taken people, friends, family for granted. I used to think that no matter what, this person will always be around, that person will always be here. I don't need to do my part to keep the relationship afloat. And and like Drake said, all the things that you should have said things that you shouldn't say. Maybe a grandparent passing away. They're always there for you and everything you got going on. You see them all the time until you don't. Or maybe putting less effort into a relationship because you got too comfortable. I've made my fair share of mistakes and have disrespected people who didn't deserve it. So I think sometimes some people do need to lose someone in order to put things into perspective or learn a valuable life lesson. Anyway, you got to appreciate the moment, man, and love your people. Another thing is my health. It seems I always pick up a cold or something every winter when the cold weather hits. It got me good a few weeks ago, and there's not many things I can't stand more than a constantly stuffed nose. I just be blowing and blowing all the time, and it goes on for a week or two. I'm laying in bed, and I can't breathe out of my nose because there's so much shit in there, even though I just blew it all out. At that point, I'm just like, fuck it, I'll be a mouth breather tonight, And I can't help but think, man, I miss having two uncongested nostrils. But when I do that, but when I do have that for the rest of the year, I'm never grateful for it. It's just normal. Hopefully someone out there knows what I'm talking about, man. A new one that just hit me was my hearing, and I've always had good hearing throughout my life, like most people, but a while back I had a concussion, and all that kind of subsided, except my hearing. It's still recovering weeks later. It's really uncomfortable when your hearing the same thing at 2 different volumes, and it sounds like you got a bad earbud in. It's crazy, man. And I got it checked out. It's all good, but for a while I was so down in the trenches that I thought it was permanent. And then it hit me that there are people out there who have had their hearing fucked from the jump, or they did get tinnitus and never bounced back. I've never been thankful for my hearing before, but today I am. With all that being said, it can always be worse. You could be missing one or multiple limbs. You could be born into a third world country or the Moab. You could have been the worst swimmer in your class and you couldn't be here at all. How about that? It's hard to have a great day all the time, and it can get real dark when you have too many bad ones in a row, but I try and make it a conscious effort to smile and find the enjoyment in both the good and the bad. Because you're always going to have both. And like my mother always says, you got to find the humor in it, man. And I think that'll do it for today. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching the video. And if you enjoyed it, please drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks, and have a good day.